If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing.
But remember, if you're doubling month over month, that's actually an exponential number. So it's not simple linear math.
We'd never have computers or mobile phones. We'd never climb mountains, break records, or go to the moon.
I just stay if I just keep. Practicing I just stay around this team, sooner or later I'll make it no you won't. No you won't. Because consistency does not guarantee you the win. Many of you is as bad as you don't want to accept this. You're never going to win because you're not intense enough. And until you get intense to the point that nothing will get in your way, that you will not get in your way.
And if you're still breathing, well, now you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack. Do I ever feel like Sisyphus? Yeah. Of course I do. I've been waiting for people to start saying like, oh, you put another picture of the sweat and of a squat rack? Really?
So now, A, you probably don't have a lot of cash, so that gets real hard real fast. And then B, do you really roll the dice? Because you have to be so cocksure to say, yeah, we'll double again, right? Like that, you get into these terrifying situations. So half of my life was just, do I have the guts to place this order? So that was like, where we spent a lot of time, or convincing someone to sell you a pallet of protein. You can't imagine how hard that was. No one knew who we were. They didn't want to sell us protein. Protein is hard to get. If you don't know, protein is tied to cheese. And so whey protein is a byproduct of creating cheese. And at some point, bodybuilders realize, hey, give that over to us. But still, the cheese business so dwarfs the protein business that protein can't grow faster than cheese. So unless people eat more cheese, the protein business is tapped out.
But I don't know if they understand. I've been getting on that squat rack and grinding it out for 25 years. And I'm not bored with it yet. It might seem like that's an unwinnable battle, but really to me, it's not about winning. It's the battle itself. It's the struggle. It's the daily test. That's what life's about. Not just physically, but mentally. Getting that rock to the top of the mountain. That's not what my goal is. My goal actually is pushing the rock. Because pushing the rock, that pushes me.
Everyone's fighting for those incremental gains every year.
What was the infrastructure built out? What was that process like? Because it's one thing to say, do I have the guts to place this order? It's another to say, do I have the guts to place this order on this person's salary? Yeah. And then navigate those waters. And you said on the podcast at first it was like, bring your downtrodden into Quest and we'll turn everything around. But at some point that had to change. So what was that process like to both develop the grit in the ordering process, but also then becoming a person who hires as well?
Well, becoming a person who hires is pretty easy because we were doing that right off the bat, and we had a company before that, so at a much smaller scale. We were actually way more used to hiring people that were white-collar workers, and hiring blue-collar was totally new for us. The thing that I did really, really badly was recognizing those transitional moments of it doesn't make sense anymore to hire the former drug dealer. Like now it's got to be people with real experience.
Why many of you no matter what you do, no matter how much you do it, no matter who you're looking at, no matter what you read, you're going to be denied because you think that just being consistent at something is going to let you win, and just that earns you the right to win, that I'm being denied that corner office, I'm being denied that card, being denied this quality of life, I'm being denied that opportunity, scholarship, I keep getting cut on off the team, you no.
I used to believe this rubbish. People have it completely the wrong way round. Nothing can be achieved, conceived until first it's believed. You have to believe it to see it. If there's something that you want to do with your life, that thing deep inside you that whispers day and night, it will always just be an idea until you choose to believe it's possible. You have to believe it so much that you already think it's happened. You have to walk like it's there, talk like it's there, believe it's there. People are going to think you're mad. They're going to look at you and think you're insane. They're going to tell you like it ain't possible. It's risky. You shouldn't do it. Be careful. Stick to what you know. Stick to what you do. F that. Follow your dreams. These people have to see to believe it, but you need to believe it to see it. I was in a tough position. 19 years old. Kid.
Motivate you even. You might not like it, but you're going to find a way to get on one. Or my career doesn't match how I should be. You could change it. But when you start believing that your life doesn't match your blueprint and you have no control to change it, you're helpless, that's when people suffer. And so this week for your breakthrough, it's a chance for you to start to take a look at your blueprint anywhere you're really having pain. Hey, look, if you're doing great in some area of your life, celebrate it, of course, and I'm sure there are many areas you are. But life is really a series of growth spurts. I mean, two things in life make you feel alive: growing and giving. And what's really wonderful about this man, Joaquin, is he was constantly growing, trying to get better, trying to be a better teammate, a better basketball player. Think about it. When he didn't make the teams and he didn't make the NBA, he didn't give up. He worked even harder. The guy was always striving to become something. And he became it. And he achieved it, and then life took it from him.
You will never win. It's time to get real, it's time to get raw. It's time to look ourselves in the mirror and come to the resolve that this version of yourself is not going to carry us in the stretch. I've been this version of myself long enough that if I don't change, if I don't do something about this, then I'm going to find myself bankrupt. For me to understand, for me to be better.
On the way, earning £27 a day, I could have chose to focus on all the problems I was going to face, all the pain. Instead, I decided to change my stars. I decided to say enough was enough and focus on ways to change them. It's easy to say that I'll try that thing tomorrow, or I'll do that tomorrow. One day I'll get in shape. One day I'll tell that person how I feel. One day I'll start that business. One day I'll leave this job. One day I'll leave this abusive relationship. We've all had times where we find ourselves constantly telling ourselves that one day we'll do that thing. The problem is, we look at all these opportunities around us and we say they're risky. What you've got to realize is life in itself is risky. It ain't important how long you live, what's important is how you live. When life gets on top of you and you feel like it's all becoming too much, it's easy to let things spiral out of control. I've been there, that place where you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders.
Isn't that the common denominator with so many of the people in the stories of this 6-part series that you saw, these 6 specials? I mean, Frank and Kristen had a blueprint of what life was supposed to be about. We're supposed to get married and have children, and we're going to have our own business. And all of a sudden, life doesn't match the blueprint. And suddenly, there's depression. Because in their case, they said there's nothing we could do. But they were wrong. They were wrong because they discovered, and Frank discovered, I can make a difference to my wife. The chair, even though I didn't create this and didn't ask for it, this chair does not define me. I can become more than I was before. I can have the impact with my wife. I can have children. We had to change his blueprint because we couldn't change all the conditions of his life. Does that make sense? I couldn't get him to physically walk again. Maybe someday he will, but we can't count on that. What we got to count on is that he can be fulfilled by seeing he isn't helpless. And I did that through a series of experiences that violated what he thought he couldn't do.
I must learn to suffer a little bit. I must learn to struggle a little bit. I cannot reap the rewards of success without understanding about struggles. Success is not automatic. You don't get things just because you want them. You achieve your goals only when you are disciplined enough to keep showing up when you don't feel like it. You're gonna put the blood, you're gonna put the sweat, you're gonna put the tears, and you're gonna lose sleep, you're going to go days without eating.